Tucson is a small business town, and that's what is such an important factor to remember. Small businesses do not have huge profit margins or reserve funds. So for them, every drop in revenue is incredibly impactful because largely their overhead can't change. So small businesses are getting hit all over the community.
The city of Tucson has seen something like $96 million come to the region by way of the CARES Act. At some point, though, those dollars will dry up. Then what?
That is a great question. And I think it's the question most people have through this pandemic. So the city had the CARES Act, and there was also the federal program for payroll protection plan. Well, those funds also have to be spent by the end of the year. So what you once had a area for businesses to get some resources, every single bit of it is drying up. Congress does have another plan out there for billions more in resources, but without that safety net, those doors are going to start to close.
The city has done some things like issue moratoriums on water, city owned rent, free public transportation. At some point, though, those things will need to be paid for. So, who would foot the bill?
Well, the city water department's actually an enterprise fund. And that means that all the money that they come in, they keep, and it is not related to taxpayer dollars at all. So I'm sure that either the city will use from their own general fund to help offset some of those fees in that separate department, or there's reserves in that department as well. I think the city is trying to get as creative as they can in trying to be able to pull resources from different areas to help those citizens.
The creativity of the city, though, is it enough? Is it what you'd like to see at this point?
Well, funds are finite in general. Of course, we want to be able to have some lax regulation, and the city has been assisting restaurants in particular about extension of premise permits, allowing them to have more, patio seating and that type of thing. And they have the CARES Act fund, and then the mayor also set up her resiliency fund as well. But in a city of so many small businesses and so many nonprofits, those funds are finite, but the demand is going to far exceed it. And it's not a slight on the city, it's simply a reality of the situation. So we need to get even more creative to see what else can we do to protect those businesses as well as the health and safety of our community.
In the mayor's State of the City address, she mentioned that there are 20,000 nonprofits that call Tucson home. How have they fared through all this?
Well, the benefit of many of those nonprofits is they did receive some payroll protection funds. There were a lot of nonprofit funds granted throughout. However, much like small businesses, nonprofits largely operate the same way and have zero based budgets. I mean, having reserves, some have it for their own, to be fiscally sound, but the mission of nonprofits is giving back. So they don't have these huge pockets of money because they're using every resource they already have to give back. So certainly they're going to have to shutter their doors or again collaborate. So perhaps we're going to see some real opportunity come out. And of those 20,000 nonprofits, perhaps it comes down to a smaller number. And not because missions aren't being fulfilled, but because they've started to partner up with each other and reduce the number, but increase the impact.
All right. Finally, Amber, the mayor admits that it's going to be a tough road to recovery, but she's optimistic. What's your prognosis?
I think she's right. I think Tucson still has so much to offer in recruiting talent and businesses. We do have wide open spaces, which companies now really see the importance of. And as long as we continue to invest in our critical services, such as public safety and infrastructure, those companies and talent will still come here, pandemic or not.
All right, Amber Smith from the Tucson Metro. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.